Hi everyone, Teddy Baldassarre with TeddyBaldassarre.com. In this video, we're looking at a watch from Hamilton with the Hamilton Ventura. So in this video and on this channel, we look at watches available for purchase on our website, TeddyBaldassarre.com, as an authorized dealer. So in this video, we'll give an overview of this timepiece, but throughout this video, if you have any further questions, link in the description to the product page where you can get some more information, can purchase the watch, and also book a time with one of our dedicated watch specialists as well. But guys, let's jump into the video, take a closer look at this watch. In 1957, the Hamilton Watch Company introduced the world's first battery-operated electric watch with the Ventura. Its place in horological history cannot be understated, as it did help usher in just a technological wave that, for better or for worse, changed the watch industry forever. Beyond its role in changing the way wristwatches operated, it also featured iconic looks to help cement its place as one of the most well-regarded and identifiable vintage watches in existence. Now, the Ventura still plays a key role in Hamilton's collection, although maybe not being on the same level as something like the Khaki, which is a bit more mass appealing. This watch, in terms of what significance it has to Hamilton, cannot be overstated. It was a watch that was made famous again by Elvis, being worn on a movie set, and also was the watch of the Men in Black movie series. The Ventura now is offered as a collection with several different models to choose from, but today we're going to be looking at a rather original take on the design with the Ventura Quartz. Now, taking a look at the triangular steel case on the wrist, we have measurements of 32.3 millimeters across the case, excluding the crown there, and then 50.3 millimeters from the furthest point of the hooded lug design while sitting 11 millimeters thick. Now, clearly this is a piece that has a very unusual mid-century design elements that distinguish it from almost any other watch in the market, and with its unique style comes unique measurements. It certainly feels larger on the wrist than 32 millimeters, of course, and what that would suggest. And contextualizing this one by size in a measurement isn't exactly the easiest thing to do with this piece. But with that being said, I think this watch is better suited for medium-sized wrists and above, probably bigger than 16.5 centimeters if you're going to give an exact expectation for a wearing experience. There is a push-pull crown to set the time at the 3 o'clock position, and the watch is water resistant to 50 meters, which is nice for a watch of this particular style. But this probably isn't going to be your go-to piece when you're, say, going to the pool. Now, one interesting characteristic is the way the strap is attached underneath the hooded lugs. And when the leather is secured around the wrist, the step lugs jettison out and above the strap like wings. Now, the case features a uniform polished finish to each surface, giving the Ventura a dressy look. The black printed leather strap is a 17 millimeter at the lugs and tapers just 1 millimeter to 16 millimeters at that butterfly deployant buckle. This particular buckle is secured with friction and is absent of any buttons to release it, so you do just have to pull on the clasp in order to open it up. The top of it is high polish and features the Hamilton logo across the top. Transitioning over to the glossy black dial, which is covered by a mineral crystal that follows along the lines of the case, we find more interesting mid-century design elements. Starting along the outside edge, where we find small, high-polished circular indices with long silver printed lines that make their way towards the center of the dial. Across the dial from the 3 o'clock to the 9 o'clock index is the electrical time sequence graphic, which is, of course, kind of paying tribute to being the first battery-operated electric watch. Sitting just above that graphic, we find the printed Hamilton logo in the same silver print that's found on the rest of the dial. Tying the dial together is a set of polished Dauphine hands, one for the hour, one for the minute, as well as a thin arrow second hand. Overall, this is a very classic combination with the glossy black dial and high polished steel dial elements and the case. And in terms of staying true to the original, this one is going to have an approach that is going to be most in alignment with that. Turning over the watch to reveal the case back, we find a large area secured with 3 screws at each of the triangle points and a raised section adorned with the etched Hamilton logo and emblem in the middle to house the movement within. There's also a little bit of space beneath the Hamilton logo for engraving, but with this incarnation of the Ventura you are receiving, fittingly, you have a 3-jeweled ETA caliber F50-111, a quartz movement that has an operational capacity of 3 years with a single battery. The F50 is also supplied to many watches across several brands that fall under the Swatch Group umbrella, and as with most modern quartz movements, it's going to be incredibly accurate, going to outdo any mechanical watch in terms of accuracy, with this one also coming with that traditional quartz oscillation rate of 32,768 times per second. But to finish up here, let's talk a little bit about what you were getting with the Hamilton Ventura and who exactly this watch is for. Now, there is no doubt that the Hamilton Ventura has a significant historical impact when it was launched, as it provided stepping stones for the quartz movement to eventually flourish in the following decades. Today, the Ventura's popularity has really just been heavily influenced through the pop culture, just tie-ins with Men in Black, also the Elvis tie-in, as you see with many of their releases. If you look within the Ventura's collection, that's going to be a affiliation that they cling strongly to, and honestly, probably a good thing to do so as well. But even with all of this, when it comes down to the design of this piece, this is a retro, futuristic look, as I would imagine somebody in the 1950s thinking about what would a watch look like down the road. It was at the time an advanced piece of technology. Then it did not use a traditional quartz movement like the one here today, as the technology that was used back then certainly wasn't ideal and didn't have the longevity in place that would eventually be adopted by quartz. But this is a watch that has a completely unique silhouette. It's not going to be for everybody by any means, but it's almost an attention-grabbing piece without necessarily being showy, I would say. It's something that shows personality, shows character, and is going to be unorthodox and kind of test the status quo of what a watch should look like. And that's coming from a watch design that's well over 60 years old at this point. So if you had to go for the one Hamilton watch, if you just wanted to get a taste of this brand, was this maybe the first one to go for? Probably not, because it's so particular. But if you're one that wants to get a piece of Hamilton's history, wants something that is unique without having to step over the bounds, this is going to be a watch that really will do the job for you. All right, guys, well, thank you again so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. That's a great way to help out the channel and really would appreciate it as well. And if you are in the market for this watch, check it out, TeddyBaldassarre.com, full authorized dealer of over 30 brands, quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support here in the US. Also have a full factory warranty for every product that we carry. We also offer price match. So if you see one of our products for cheaper at another authorized dealer, fill out the form on the product page and we'll reach out to you. And finally, 9 out of every $10 that we generate goes right back into the content we're creating, fostering a new generation of watch enthusiasts in the process. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I'll see you all very soon.